think the other thing that's really cool, and you talked about it in one of your videos I was watching, early, like in the middle of coronavirus, but availability trumped price and marketing when it came to
Yeah.
e-commerce. And like you said, like toilet paper, you didn't care. You just needed toilet paper. It it's a behavior that is interesting, and it's sort of something that I think a lot of people are going to kind of revisit when this would, because of what happened, and especially because we've been in that more lean initiative approach. Do you think that there might be a hybrid approach to this, or how do you think some businesses are going to respond to the idea that, like, man, if I just had stock during this crisis, our business would be thriving right now?
Yeah, look, I certainly spoke to at least one business where this was an opportunity, and I sort of mentioned this in the video, that you've got a if the thing that people want is out of stock, but you've got the old model, right? You've got that slow and obsolete stock where there's nothing else available now, right? So there's an opportunity there for you to actually sell that stock in, which under normal circumstances wouldn't sell, because we're spoiled, right? The 21st century, we are, killing it in terms of choice. You go back 100 years and that would not have been the case, right? There would have been one version of a product from one supplier, and maybe that was in short supply because they couldn't make enough to meet demand, and you just had to wait, right? So, but we are spoiled for choice, and we are spoiled for supply and availability at the moment. But as soon as that looks like it's at risk, what do you see? You see hoarding and panic buying. And so you can actually, that can turn a normally functional supply chain into a dysfunctional one. So if you had toilet paper, you were going to sell it, and people were selling it at like, $10 a roll, and just ridiculous prices because there was like, they had 5 rolls. So they go, why not, right? Someone's going to buy it if they don't have toilet paper. So, and they did. So availability always, it's just that that's not normally something we're even aware of, unless you've got some like super in demand product where you've just got a lag before the manufacturing catches up with the supply. And some businesses deliberately engineer this into their sort of marketing programs. So they might have a pre-order and then they have a sellout, right? And so there's no availability, and that just creates excitement and demand for that product, sort of the next when it comes into stock. But that's an engineered shortage, right? There's almost no reason for anything to have a supply or availability issue now. In fact, we usually have the opposite problem, right, with too much supply, and then the new thing comes out and all of that product is just, no one wants it anymore. So but when you get crisis, availability is where it's at, because people they need their toilet paper, right, because they don't want to tear up newspaper or use gum leaves or any of the other
Right.
old-fashioned things that people might have had to cope with.